Hello, everybody. Just want to chat for a little bit. So, yesterday, I got a little bit depressed. You know, I would say I was in this little bit of depression, dark mood yesterday, like in the morning, sort of, afternoon, sort of. And the reason why is because it was like I was hating myself for being like this. I was hating myself because I can't hardly, still I can walk, but I still have struggles uh, holding my balance or stepping up a step, and not being able to stand for long periods of time without falling, and doing basic things, like sweeping the floor and mopping and going in the kitchen, reaching in the refrigerator, getting something out, different things like that. And I was like beginning to hate myself, and it was like I started to get in this dark place of depression because I was mad at myself, and I was like, I just want to be able to get up and walk into the kitchen and stand in front of the refrigerator, get my breakfast out, and and don't have to worry about, am I going to fall, different things like that, and be able to stand over top of the stove and cook for myself, and be able to stand at the kitchen sink and do basic things like wash the dishes or load the dishwasher, or just be able to take in a broom and sweeping a carpet off, or be able to mop the floor without worrying about, I need something to hold on because I'm about to fall. Let me sweep the floor. And I begin to hate myself for that. I begin to get depressed because I can't do those things. And I begin to think of, I have to sit in my wheelchair, and get my grabber, just to sweep the floor or to mop the floor. I have to sit in my wheelchair, or I have to ask somebody, can you take this out the refrigerator for me and put it on the table? And can you make sure it's a spoon, a plate, or a bowl? Or can you put this pot and pan on the stove for me? And different things like that. And it's just like, I miss doing things like that for myself. I have to ask somebody, well, can you go in the freezer and take this out for me and put it on the table? And, I'll take, or I have to ask somebody, can you put my rollator in the kitchen so I can sit in it while, I sit at the table and prepare this? And, or can you just move the kitchen table down a little bit and go take my wheelchair in the kitchen and open it up for me and lock it, and I'll take my time holding on to different things going into the kitchen. And I know it's okay to say you're not okay. I know everybody has moments, but I begin to really and then I got out of it quickly because I know what it is to be depressed, because I used to suffer depression, really bad depression, in my 20s. But all throughout that day, that thought was still in my mind. A lot of people think, okay, because a person with disabilities, or a person that's has limited mobility, or a person that has no mobility, they lazy. No, those of us that have limited and disabilities, or limited mobility and no mobility, it gets to us sometimes, because we can't do certain things, and we have to ask for help. And it gets to us sometimes because we're used to, doing our daily activities for ourselves. Even those of us that are working towards getting our mobility back, we may not get 100% of our mobility back full throttle, but we we happy with the progress that we're making, the success stories, the little miracles along the journey to getting some type of mobility where we can walk, even if we have to use a cane, you know but I'm grateful. I'm grateful that, because I have to look back from where I used to be in 2023, when I couldn't walk but 2 feet. And now I can, well, in June, no, July, I think it was July, I walked 175 feet, which was far for me because I could only do 2 feet at a time. And I worked my way up to 175 feet. That's almost a mile. Um, yeah. I have to look at, you know, I have the activity and mobility of my legs, even though I have a hard time walking and a hard time standing for long periods of time. I can get up, I can stand, even if I have to hold on to something. I have a rollator which I can push around if I have to. I can make steps and walk. So my walk is improving. I have to think about those things as, I can get in and out of the bed if I want to. If I take a nap on a sofa, watching television, I can prop my legs up. And, once upon a time, I had to have help. I had to have help. I had to have help. I had to ask somebody, can you help me get in the bed? I would take my walker before I got the rollator, and I would, walk over to the bed, sit on the edge of the bed, and lay back. And somebody would have to grab my left leg and my right leg and push it over, and then they had to grab my left leg and push it over. And my legs felt like dead weight, like they were actually heavy, because I couldn't even lift. It was so hard lifting my legs up. Had a hard time. Even when I got different devices to lift my leg up, it took every ounce of breath out of me. And then I said, you know what? I'm determined. I'm so determined, and I just got determination in me, and I stopped asking. Every now and then I would ask somebody, can you help me get in bed? And then I came up with strategies how to lift my legs up. I would prop my leg up on a bedside commode, one leg at a time, and then scoot it over and different things like that. And I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and didn't realize that I was strengthening my legs to the point where, so now I don't need nobody help. Getting in the bed and getting out the bed. Even now, I still need a little assistance with stepping up. Somebody has to stand behind me and, help. Sometimes I can push myself up to get up one step. If I can't, somebody has to like help push me up. And, I know I'm going to have those days where I look at myself and say, I don't blame nobody. A lot of people that don't have mobility, limited mobility, sometimes they blame other people. No, I don't blame nobody. Just all me, honey. I don't blame nobody. I don't say, well, they did it, this person did it. No, no. I have to look, they say when you point one finger, all other fingers point back at you. So I don't blame nobody. But yeah, I was in that place yesterday. And I felt like crying, screaming, because I don't want to be in that place. I don't want to be in that place. So I try my best every single day. I try my best every single day. Every single day. And I see the miracles, the small miracles. If they may be small to me, but they big to Yahweh. And I see them. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful. Sometimes, I'm it's just, y'all just don't know. Sometimes you sit back and you just look over your life, and You be like, how did I get to this point, and how did I get to that point? And but you gotta start seeing, like, there's a pot of gold at the end of every rainbow. You know. And sometimes the rainbow never ends, because it's just, it keeps going and going and going. Your journey, I know this journey, even when I do get the bariatric sleeve weight loss, I know I'm still going to be on a journey. I know after I get to a goal weight, I'm still going to be on a journey. And I know this, because we have many, many journeys ahead, many, many roads to travel, many, many things to do, people to see, places to go, and different things like that. I know this. But sometimes I stop, and sometimes I sit here and I turn the television off, and I'll lay down and I'll listen to my daily devotions. And sometimes I just sit here. If I don't listen to my daily devotion, I'll turn the TV off and just go to sleep, or put on meditation music and different things like that, and just be thinking, and I see myself, being able to get around. Because I even told myself, if I don't get back to 100%, if I get to like 80%, 70%, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good. Even now, I know I'm good, because the progress is wonderful. I'm good. But I just got into that dark place yesterday. But I'm thankful that I got myself out. I dragged myself out of there. I didn't stay in there long, because if I would have stayed in that dark place long, feeling like, it was just like it was just like I was starting to feel hopeless yesterday, and it was like sinking in, and I could like feel it coming, walking up on me, and I just eased my way out. And I told my daughter, I said, I just feel so bad, I want to do this and that, and then this and that. She said, but you gotta think about it. You made good progress, and you come a long way. And I'm like, yeah, I know. See, nobody really understands what we feel. Nobody knows it. But if we was to take our shoes off and put it and let somebody else walk in our shoes, I don't even think nobody. Let me tell you something. If I was to take my shoes off and let a lot of people walk in my shoes, I don't even think they would last a day. They wouldn't even last 5 minutes. They would last 2 seconds. They wouldn't even last 2 seconds. They probably last a split second or whatever. They wouldn't even last at all. They would put the shoes in and be ready to take them off as soon as they start taking a step or whatever. But I don't wish nobody to experience the things that I experienced on this journey. It has a lot of down days. It has a lot of up days. It has a lot of happy days, and sometimes, I do get sad. But you know what? I learned how to, when I feel the sadness coming on, I watch funny videos, or I'll I'll listen to music, or I'll listen to my daily devotions or something like that, or I'll play with my granddaughter, something like that. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I don't get sad, because sometimes I do get sad. Sometimes, yeah, I do feel like, I'm on this journey by myself, but I know I'm not. I know I got God upstairs. I know I got angels that has been assigned to me. I know I got my children. I know I got my grandkids. I know I got my sister, my mom, and different things like that, all, supporting me, cheering me on, and different things like that. But then I get sad because I don't have, I'm not married, I'm single, and I've been single for a very, very long time. And sometimes I get sad because I don't have a companion. Now, let me tell you something. I'm not saying I'm desperate and I'm out here looking and searching. I'm out here jumping down some man or run all up in me. No, I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing none of that. No, I'm practicing abstinence. People may say, yeah, but you got children. That don't mean nothing. My oldest son is about to turn, 32? No, I'm sorry. My second oldest son about to turn 30, 33. Y'all forgive me. But my oldest son about to turn 37. And my youngest is about to turn 25. My kids are grown, married, have two of them married, and the rest single, but they have girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You know, the only two of my kids do not have kids. That's my baby son and my baby daughter. They don't have children. But the companionship coming from another person, like a male figure, you know, a male opposite sex of me. I'm a female, they're male. And that companionship, you know, somebody to talk to, somebody to confide in, laugh with, have fun with, watch movies and different things like that. That's the type of thing sometimes I get leery of, you know, because I don't have that male companionship or that male friendship. That part of me sometimes gets sad. And then I'm like, you know, let me stop. Then I tell myself, girl, just throw that in the back of the room somewhere. Whatever, you know. Not to say that guys do be trying to talk to me and different things like that, and they give me that number and all this stuff, and I look at them like, okay. They like call me, and I'm like, okay, but I never call them though. And then a part of me, you know, tell myself, you know, I'm like this. I got oxygen, and I need somebody to assist me in a bathroom. I need somebody to help me when I take a shower, or a shower, and I need somebody to help me do different things that I have a hard time doing, and no man want nobody like me. You know, I goes to the doctor sometimes a lot, and doctors come and visit me. I, you know, carry around an oxygen bag and stuff, and then I tell myself, you know, ain't no man gonna want to deal with that. Ain't no man want to feel obligated to date me or to marry me because, oh, you know, I ain't trying to take care of nobody that's got a disabled, can't walk, can't hardly do nothing. No, you know, and I started thinking like that, you know, and then I told myself, you know what? I know God has somebody out there for me that's going to love me in spite of the oxygen, that's going to, hey, honey, you know, when I get up, and he said, you going to the bathroom? And I say, yes. He said, okay, here I come. Let me know when you finish so I can come help you. Or I could say, baby, I'm about to take a shower. Can you come help me wash my back, and I do everything else? You know what I'm saying? You know, stuff like that. Or, I know this. It's okay to feel, and I tell myself, you know, Sharita, it's okay to feel the way you feel, and it's okay. So I'm telling you, you know, the way you feel, your emotions and different things like that, it's okay to feel the emotions that you're feeling right now. Because I know I'm not the only one that's, you know, going through different health problems in the body, and it's not peachy cream. It's not, you know, I'm feeling good. You know, no, we have those days when we like, oh, I feel good, yeah. And then we have those days like, you know what? I just can't do this. And you know, we have those days. We have those, you know, we do get weary. I don't know nobody that don't get worried, because we all get worried and well doing. We get to that place sometimes, and I know I do. I ain't gonna sit up here and tell you I don't get worried, because sometimes I do. Sometimes I do worry. Sometimes I get stressed out, and I'll be like this. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my God. And then I take my glasses off, and I'm like, you know, it's okay. I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm beautiful, but it's okay. That's what I tell myself. It's okay, Sharita. And I have to keep telling myself this every day, because if I don't tell myself, Sharita, you're gonna be okay, you doing good. If I don't start telling myself that, it's like I'm gonna drag myself down, and I'm gonna see myself, you know, not wanting to do anything. Like, I want to go back making bracelets like I used to do. And I'm telling myself, okay, I know I need to get some, I need to get some more beads and different things like that, and string and stuff, so I can make bracelets. And then I want to paint, and I keep telling myself, well, I guess gotta get some canvases. I got a little bit of paint, but I want to get some canvases and just doing little painting here and there. Now I don't know how to paint, but I like taking ink pen. I like taking a pencil or pen, drawing like different abstracts and stuff like that. When I get bored, I doodle on paper. And I make different shapes and sizes and connect them and lines and stuff like that. I like doing stuff like that. And then I say I want to crochet and just make something, anything, make a blanket or something like that, or make a scarf or something like that, or a hat. Just it's like things that I want to do, just to keep my mind going. Because let me tell you something. If you're a believer, the battleground of faith is up here in our mind. And if the enemy can get your mind, he got you. So I know what it is when the enemy get up here and start saying stuff to you, manipulating you and all that stuff. So I got to keep this busy. I got to keep focused on God. And I have to trust God. And not only that, I have to trust myself too, to know that I'm going to be okay. That things are going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? It's going to work out. Girl, you're going to pull through. When you get this operation, you're going to be okay. The weight is going to, you lose some weight. It may not be fast like you want, but you coming down. You know what I'm saying? And then if somebody was to come up to me today and say, Sharita, we see you lose some weight. You look good. And if somebody say, what is the number one thing that you're having issues with about yourself, or you have self-confidence? Y'all, I'm gonna be real. My stomach. Because now that I'm losing, the weight is coming off, my stomach is the extra weight, I can tell. And I'm very self-conscious about my stomach. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very self-conscious about my stomach. And if a doctor was to ask me today or tomorrow, I don't think you need weight loss surgery, but you could use a tummy tuck or something like that. I'm like, look, can you give me a tummy tuck? Or can you take this fat that's hanging down my stomach, this extra fat that's hanging? I ain't gonna lie, y'all, it's hanging. I'm just saying, y'all, I'm being real. This is real talk today. Real talk. I'm beaten, but I'm real talking. You know what I'm saying? Real talking. But yeah, y'all just don't understand. So I just want to encourage y'all to keep on going, keep on pushing. And I thank all of y'all that has been following me, subscribing to my YouTube channel, different things like that. Follow me on Facebook and TikTok. I just thank y'all because y'all motivate me. Y'all push me. Y'all motivate me. And y'all encourage me to keep going and keep striving for the best. So y'all, I'm striving for the best, Sharita, the best that I know how to. And I'm doing the best that I know how to, because that's all I can do. I'm not out here, some people lose weight and then they on their journey of losing weight. They losing weight and killing themselves. No, I ain't trying to do nothing like that. That's crazy. But I'm losing weight for me. So y'all be blessed, and I love you guys.